Hello and welcome to episode 74 of VocTerGaming. I am your host, the vocal terrorist, Jesse Rain, and we are here with something very, very special today. This replay was sent to me by my good friend Bakemaster, and it features two very special players. First up, we have our blue Zerg, spawning in the lower right. He is ruxin. And in the upper left, we have our red Protoss. He is oGsVINES. Now this is special for a couple of reasons. First of all, OGS player on the ladder. This is not necessarily Vines. It's hard to really call. oGsVINES is North American account. This is taking place on the North American server, by the way. It's often used by many other players of the OGS team, including MC. While I don't think, having watched this replay, that it is MC, it's quite possible it is. But we do know this is used by many of the OGS players. Especially, and that's backed up kind of by its win rate, which is about 80% if I remember correctly. But the more exciting thing is this little fellow here. This is ruxin, otherwise known as Alex Hannenfeld. I hope I've pronounced that right, because I just have it written down here. And he is one of two Grandmaster level players for the as yet undefeated number 2 ranked UC Davis Collegiate Star League team. The other player on this undefeated team is Spanichua. That's right. I am friends with someone who is friends with someone who knows Spanichua. Yeah, everything is awesome forever. But seriously, I love the Collegiate Star League, and I really am wishing those guys all the best. I really hope UC Davis go on to take it. I love Spanichua. From watching this replay, actually, I really like ruxin's play. I also did manage to catch another match from the UC Davis recent LAN that was featured on the IPL show that's streamed online, showing IMPT BZ against the UC Berkeley's VP Suppy, who's now actually been picked up by Check 6, I have been told. And that was a really fun match, absolutely tons of nukes. oGsVINES here using this probe just to delay. Oh, look at that. Being an absolutely terrible person, dropping a pylon to stop the hatchery from going down. That's absolutely lovely. That's something we see a lot. Now, this is of course Forge First Expand, which is pretty much a really solid opening against Zerg. You get the Forge, you get a couple of cannons, and then you expand here. And you should be pretty safe from everything that's coming. There we see the expansion dropping. Now finally, ruxin will be able to build his expansion hatchery here. This probe is still being thoroughly annoying though, so he knows exactly when that hatchery's gone up. He knows he's safe from any aggression right now. Two little Zerglings are popping out, gonna attack this probe. Now, probes are as fast as Zerglings. This Zergling will not catch it unless you spam click, because every time it changes direction it slows down slightly. It takes it just a second, half a second even, to accelerate. So every time you change the direction of the click, this Zergling catches up and will land a hit. Probe, once again being annoying, will be chased out by these Zerglings. So we're going pretty standard opening here with the Forge Cannon Expand, throwing in a few pylons here, going double gas. That's pretty much what you expect from a Protoss. ruxin here with the pull first to expand. That's something you see a lot more out of the North American players. That's not something you really see in Korea. It's something that's really becoming out of style in Europe as well. It is very much the sole preserve of North American players now, as far as I've seen it. So OGS, for those of you who don't know about the OGS team, those of you who don't watch much Starcraft 2, OGS are a powerhouse, or at least at one time were a powerhouse, of Korean Starcraft 2, specifically the GSL, the Global Starcraft 2 League. However, lately they've been in somewhat of a slump. Their players aren't doing as well. MC especially dropping all the way out of the GSL altogether, having to use MLG, in fact, to get back into Code S. That was a real worrying time for the OGS players. They do have some decent up-and-coming players again, and I think given time they will be back on top. They had a really good start in the first couple of open seasons. Even guys like Cezanne, OGS The Wind were doing incredibly. And then just recently, just in the past 3 or 4 months, they've really started to drop off the radar somewhat. So that is a shame. I'm hoping they can get back to their old form. Now, we see Ventral Sacs is on the way, along with Metabolic Boost, that's the Zergling speed upgrade, and Pneumatized Carapace, so we are seeing some fun stuff coming out of here. Ventral Sacs there. So it looks to me like we are going to be getting some drops. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. And in fact, yes, we are. We are going to get Baneling drops, possibly directly into the mineral line of the main here. Now the question is, will Vines get cannons? Vines, no, is in fact dropping gateways here. That's not something you see that often. Generally players, I mean, there's no need to get gateways right at the front of your base, or in this section here. I'm not too sure about the placement on those though. It just, I guess it's not going to do any harm. I don't see the attractiveness of placing them there. But I suppose we'll see what that does in the future. Meanwhile, Protoss Ground Weapons Level 1 is about to finish. They get super fast upgrades and a Twilight Council going down. Where's that Twilight Council? Here it is. See, this is the thing I would perhaps have placed here instead, to try and keep it away from flyers and such like. Drop a couple of cannons around it. I'm not seeing any more cannons going down now from Vines. I will refer to them as Vines. Obviously, we can't be completely sure if it is or isn't Vines, or what OGS player it is, but I will refer to him as Vines just for ease. And oh wow, this is going to be a big drop from the looks of it. There are a lot of Overlords here, and I'm assuming we are going to get a few of these turned into Banelings very, very shortly. Perhaps not. Yes, Banelings over here in this Overlord. So perhaps going to drop from this side with the Zerglings, and then when they're distracted... Oh, Dark Shrine going down. Early DTs from... Right, okay. This is very likely it's not MC. You don't often see early DTs from MC. So I'm pretty happy labelling this as Vines right now. Okay, these Overlords are flying in. They are dropping their Zerglings, and they are going to do a lot of damage right now. That is a lot of Zerglings to be dropping in right here. This Dark Shrine is nearly done. Will he use those Banelings? Oh, so many probes going down right now. This drop was absolutely spectacular. And now, finally, moving back here. But the probes are coming right into the line of the Banelings. And oh, so many probes going down. Brilliant move by Ruxin. You can see why this guy is a Grandmaster level player, and why UC Davis is doing so well right now. Zerglings now streaming around these Zealots. Looks like he will take a few down, but this attack will finally be crushed. Ruxin now forced to retreat those Overlords. But wow, what a move. Dark Shrine does finish. He does allow that to finish, choosing instead to take down probes, which I think was the right idea. He's seen the DTs coming. Here they come now. Those Zerglings go down easily. Now, he does not have an Overseer yet. An Overseer is on the way. So the best thing to do is use Banelings like that. Oh, but losing all the Banelings there means this DT is still alive. Banelings, even though you cannot see the DTs, the Dark Templar, can explode next to them, and the splash will still kill them. Now the Overseer is done, so it will be on its way. Where are you, Overseer? I was certain the Overseer was done, but now I do not see it. A third Dark Templar is now in the mix. Very strange. Here is the Overseer. What is that doing? Okay, it's seeing these, but the sentries could well have harmed that. And in fact, an Archon as well could choose to take down that Overseer very quickly. Ruxin, perhaps not with the best of play there, is going to give Vines a chance to come back into this game. Zerglings and Queens now. Hydra's out as well. Hydra's with very high DPS. This Overseer rather is here, so they can see the DT finally. So this DT finally does go down, and these Zealots will die too. Decently held. Did lose that hatchery when really I'm not too sure he needed to. I think he could well have defended that much earlier if he'd been a bit smarter with that Overseer. Or perhaps even when he saw the Dark Shrine, should have started an Overseer earlier. I wasn't keeping tabs on the money. Now just floating empty Overlords in. Oh, brilliant move! Brilliant move. I love that. Vines now is scared of these drops. So the minute he sees the overlords coming in, he has to pull all the probes, which stops him from mining. Oh, I really like that. And of course what you do now is train him not to pull the probes, because every time you bring overlords in, nothing drops out, so the probes will be safe, so that the next time you do bring them in full of banelings, you get an absolute bumper crop of probes again. This hatchery will go back up for ruxin. I don't think he's too badly hurt by that loss. He definitely did a lot more damage to Vines than Vines did to him. This proxy pylon is going to be very annoying. These Zerglings are now out to kill it, but it does mean another DT is on its way now. 3 spine crawlers going down, but the Hydras with the Overseer are going to shut that down. Hydra's very fast on creep, not so fast off it unfortunately. They will take this pylon down though, so that's fine. Ruxin right now is definitely in the lead for me. He has the food advantage, he has the money advantage right now. It's going to take, if you look up here, only 3 probes here. Having to chronoboost probes instead of army, that's always a pain for Protoss. Stalkers finally coming out now. I think this is really late to start seeing some Stalkers. Generally you expect to see them much earlier on. Again, especially if you're struggling with overlord drops, you want stuff that can hit air. He was very focused on getting those DTs, and they did help, but I don't think they helped as much as he wanted them to do, especially with losing so many probes. And now the game is in somewhat of a lull. Blink going down and a Roach Warren for Ruxin. Everything kind of stalled at the moment while these players fix their economy. We once again have an empty overlord forcing these probes to be pulled. All the rest of the overlords are just going to chill out up here. Just chilling out and relaxing. Oh, but a bailing drop there catches so many probes. Just caught the tail end of that. Absolutely brilliant once again. Catching so many probes with that. If we just check the workers killed tab, look at that. 46 workers killed compared to 5 of Vines. That is huge. That is such a huge advantage. Of course, the more workers you kill, the more their economy will lag behind, and the later it will be that they can push out an attack. Which means, as a Zerg player, you can get a hell of a lot more drones. Evo Chamber going down now, as well as Glial Reconstitution. That is... I was about to say it was the movement upgrade, but I don't think it is. Where's he put that Roach Warren now? It's been a while since I've played this. No, it is the movement speed. There we go. It's because tunneling claws and the movement speed icons, as you see, are actually the wrong way around in this game, which makes it kind of annoying for players like us. This overlord is dropping some creep here, going to stop the expansion, but these stalkers do blink in and take it down, so there is going to need to spawn more overlords. Is now taking the 3rd and 4th gas, so he is going to start going more gas heavy units on the way very shortly. Creep being dropped now at this location. Stalkers and sentries moving down, going to take this out. Take down the rocks, allows him to, of course, expand to this slightly more defensible location. It does have the ramp here that you can control high ground with. But another bailing drop. Will he pull probes this time? No, he will not. He's going to lose so many more probes. Oh my god. Oh my word. This overlord will go down, but the damage was done with the one in the north. Oh my. Up to 57 workers killed now. Ruxin, you are very, very sneaky. Creep being massively dropped up here, by the way. I like it. I'm enjoying this creep spread. It is not the best I've ever seen, although it's hard to beat the best I've ever seen as Zerg Missile Attacks level 1 goes up, because the best I've ever seen was, I believe it was Seal? Seal Sculper is the Terran player. NS Hoso Seal, who, oh my god, managed to actually get creep in his opponent's base. Now a hallucinated Phoenix is on the way. This is just for scouting. And Changelings turning into little fake zealots here. Don't know how much they are gonna do, because it will be pretty obvious to this zealot that, hang on a minute, something ain't right here. But the question is whether Vines will see it or not. So we will keep tabs on that. This DT could still prove to be a problem. Ruxin is now expanding to this location at the minerals here. Again, these zealots are sneaking past everything. Meanwhile, up at this base, Vines has expanded. Now the question is, how much will these see? He can of course get in, but that cannon will expose them. And so everything dies. I do believe cannons expose changelings, don't they? Much the same way as they expose cloaks as a detector. I'm not sure. I've never used changelings. I've never been a Zerg player. I've played Protoss, I've played Terran, but never Zerg. It just seems... it's all too complex for me. The lava and the queens and stuff. Just not my type of thing. Anyway, ruxin is now getting a Nidus network. Oh yeah! And starting energy for the Infestors is about to go down, while ground weapons level 3 is on the way from Vines. So Vines is ahead in the upgrades. Robotics Bay and Facility on the way is gonna give him Colossi. Colossi, of course, absolutely wonderful unit against much of Zerg. And do get destroyed slightly by Corruptors, but not as fast as, of course, by the Terran Vikings. A Nidus network is going to finish here. The question is, where will he drop it? I imagine here, where he's got the creep. And here comes the Nidus network. Meanwhile, this Overseer, this Overlord rather, is morphing to an Overseer. And at the same time, this is full of Banelings. Unfortunately for him, the Stalkers do catch it, so these do go down. However, they are just a diversionary tactic, as Banelings, Roaches and Hydras spawn into the main right now of oGsVINES. This is a huge attack. This could be a game-winning attack, in fact. Burping out so many units right now, and there is just nothing in here right now to defend. More Overseers morphing as well to help against these DTs. DTs are pretty much the last hope right now. Force field's going down to split the army. That's good. These Hydras cannot engage right now. But as these sentries die, he's going to have nothing but Stalkers and DTs. The Overseer finishes, so the DTs will go down. These Stalkers will not be enough. I am telling you now, to hold this off. He needs to warp in more units. He needs to get some Colossi out, but it's not going to be fast enough, I believe. These Hydras will take it down too much. Unpowers the Colossi. The railway facilities, no Colossi, and there's the well won, the GG there from oGsVINES. Ruxin beats oGsVINES on the North American ladder. Amazing. Oh, Ruxin, you are a great player. A big thank you to Bakemaster, of course, for sending me this replay, and to Ruxin, of course, for having this amazing game. I would gladly cast some more of your CSL type stuff. It's really fun. I really need to get more into the CSL. I do love it, and I love UC Davis. So, best of luck to UC Davis. I hope you take the CSL. I hope you take it. Still, of course, undefeated as yet. Still number 2 ranked. I believe just below Berkeley? How do I pronounce that? I don't know. I'm not American. I am very much English. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will be back tomorrow with some pro games again. See you all next time.